Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Thea 2, The Shattering, where we have some good news and some bad news. The good news, of course, that we managed to establish here. We're down, we're ready to start working in earnest on our goals. The bad news, of course, that our brave crafter Unislava died getting us here, and so we've renamed the town in her honor. We certainly would not have made it without her, certainly not so easily at least. But we have established a mighty town center. You know what I didn't actually look at? Is the strength of the demon changed at all? No, that looks about the same. Okay, so the demon does not scale with the effectiveness of your idol. But boy, this is a pretty good idol, huh? This is actually the best, pretty close to the best possible idol. I bet that if you were able to get the extra 0.2 essence in there, it wouldn't affect any of these numbers at all. So, it is interesting that it says the village sight range is +3, but we definitely... Okay, no, it did. Upon loading, it did push the fog back. Really, all of this area is completely flat and featureless. Huh. Well, that's a shame. Alright, let's figure out what we're doing here. What are we doing to prepare for the future? I guess, what is the future? If we're talking about a domination victory, just to mix things up, we have to conquer faction settlements, or we have to make friends. Currently conquered 2 of 15. Did I? Is that right? I don't think that's right. It's not that hard to become friendly with 5 factions, although I will say I've definitely put us in a little bit of a hole in regards to the alpha clans. It might be real hard to make friends with the orcs, but that's okay. There's lots of different people out there we can make friends with. We now have 4 different races among our followers. Shouldn't be too hard to get this up to 7. Actually, well, we'll see. If we're making friends with people, then, we make friends with the goblins and then recruit a goblin, and we make friends with the dwarves and recruit a dwarf. These two things will kind of work together if we choose to do it that way. And then have at least 4 buildings made of skill level 4 is probably pretty doable, actually. If we can make buildings out of, pure stone, then we already have the idol itself. The trading post is trivial to make level 4. And then we just have to find 4 more that we can do with stone. I bet we can totally do this. So, we have a town. We have 2 advancement points. We're close to a 3rd. Let's talk about buildings. We definitely want to get a school going. We are going to need advancement points. So let's not even mess around on that. We know we need a school. We don't need a forge or a warehouse nearly as much as we have in the past, because our idol is so powerful. All of our characters are around at least 20 points of gathering and crafting, so these buildings are a lot less meaningful. We might want to build a lumber mill, just that we're not always burning coal, but it's certainly not urgent. Maybe, given that we're in a more difficult place and we're later in the game, so the challenges are more difficult, it might be worth building a guard tower, like a dwelling. I don't believe that the dwelling actually raises your morale. I think it just sets a floor for your morale. So if we're doing a good job with our morale, we don't need it. We should probably get a children's playground. We'll get more children eventually. The children's playground doesn't need to happen right now. If I'm remembering correctly, the dwelling can give you bonus XP per turn, and it's later in the game than we often settle, so we've missed out on a lot of time for that bonus XP, but there's still probably a lot of game left. It's probably worth trying to build one of those dwellings that gives bonus XP, and then once we have kids, them getting bonus XP per turn is a big deal, right? Let's go ahead and get the dwelling running as well. I'm noticing that these 2 buildings can be built out of stone. Here's a question. If we were to build them out of pure stone, what would they look like? Not that I definitely will, but let's see. It's if I just made a school of stone. 0.6 research points per turn, 8.4 research increase. That's not too bad. What was the material that you have to put in to get... That takes us down to... Or that takes us to 0.5 per turn. One of the types of materials... Hold on, let's build out of stuff that's a little bit more comparable. If we go sandstone and sandstone, we're looking at 0.1 research points per turn, Okay, yeah, it's making the school out of bone that gives the extra research points. So if we did it like this, get 0.6, or we could do it with pure stone and get 0.6 anyway. But we can definitely lower the amount of pure stone we need. The thing is, for our purposes, it would be really nice if we could keep this at level 4 at least. So we need to be 180 total essence. If we were to use Shadow Bone, we fall just below. That's a real shame. If we used Dark Wood, we hit the 180. We only have to make 60 pure stone instead of 90. Okay, what about the dwelling? I do not remember... What do we have to make the dwelling out of to have the version where it gives the extra XP? We know where there's rubies. Just kind of slotting stuff in here to see. Increase max health. So it's not leather or gem essence. If you put in wood essence, it increases movement. Actually still very good. And if you put in stone, nothing. So I guess I'm misremembering. It was a different building that gives the XP. Okay, well, you know what? Honestly, a low morale threshold is probably okay. I'm hopeful that we will be able to keep our morale high, but if we made it out of just pure obsidian, get a morale threshold of 29. Again, I would love to hit this thing. So if we did like this. Okay, I want the extra movement points, but I also really want to hit that. Oh, and you see the threshold on this version of the building is way higher. If we wanted to make a level 4 building, a level 4 dwelling of this type, we'd have to have 292 essence, which we are not going to get. So... we could just do this. Pegging morale to 40 is pretty phenomenal. It means we don't have to care about food, or food types at all. Do we have a source of enchanted leather anywhere that we know about? It doesn't have to be nearby necessarily. We can certainly go out and gather. Unfortunately, I don't think there's really a good way to search for this, so we can just like zoom out a lot and go check the old island. There's some fur leather. And we know where there's a couple of terrain artifacts, so we can certainly remove those. We can just scout around this island some more. In theory, leather should not be too hard to find here. There definitely are wild animals, we know that. Yeah, we have some area to our east to look into. We don't necessarily have to build that right now. We should try to build the school as quickly as possible. But since it looks like we're not going to be able to get XP per turn out of our dwelling like I thought I remembered, that one can wait a little bit. So pure stone plus dark wood makes just barely the school that we need. It's an extra half a research point every single turn, which is significant. I would love to do this. How long is it going to take us to do that? We would need 300 obsidian. Let's pull everybody back for a second here. We need 300 obsidian. We really want to get the obsidian to a place where we're pulling just barely 1 obsidian per turn. In fact, we could do that, right? And then you two can gather other stuff. I mean, we're certainly going to need a lot of coal. And do we just gather food in the interim? We have no nearby source of wood. We're going to have to find the wood. But I think there may be some significant time lapsing on this one. I might cut away because we're going to have to do a lot of gathering. But I'm hoping that we can get some more kids here now that we're settled down. That'll speed things up, or at least it'll speed things up once they're grown. Do we know of a source of dark wood? Do we see a source of dark wood anywhere? We did not manage to succeed at that event, right? Okay, so we don't see a source of dark wood on the island right now, but that is not a major concern because that event occurs all the time, right? Let's just take a couple of turns and build up our situation. So yeah, somehow, remarkably, there's no other resources of any kind over there. Well, whatever. We built where we had to build in order to get both coal and fish. I'm not too upset about it. Actually, I'm noticing that we only see one source of bone, but the gathering menu has 4 sources of bone. So I wonder if there is bone on these tiles and we just were not actually given vision of them, not real vision. We might have to have somebody run out there and have a look. But unfortunately, everybody's hands are like extremely busy right now. Do we have any important research to do? I can't remember if we hit all of our stuff. What is that? Ooh. Difficulty 5 Lightbringers. Okay, we do have a terrain artifact. Obviously, we're very busy right now, but that's a thing that we should research soon. I think the most important thing is putting together the materials necessary for this school. Then we can consider other stuff afterward. So we don't actually have to do any quests we don't want to do. Where am I at in the Divine Path? Okay, you chose to follow one of your domains to discover more. And also there's a Red Ridge Bandit Lair somewhere? That could be it. Or that could be it. Yeah, we don't necessarily have to try to get along with people. We could just conquer a lot. But we're going to need more people either way. So I think that decision, the decision on the top line of the domination victory, can wait. Let's just chill for a minute here and get ourselves established. We do, of course, have the concern that as long as the game is running, challenges are getting more and more difficult. We also have the concern that we are just barely gathering more food than we're eating. But I guess as long as it keeps being more, and it does not get more difficult to gather fish during the winter. Yeah, that's fine. Gathering the obsidian during the winter is kind of a pain. Do we want to stop gathering for a minute here and go out and do some adventuring, get some XP and stuff? Kind of. It definitely should not move you over to mushrooms. You should stay on fish. We're just gonna only have fish for a minute here. I guess let's pull some people over to do some research. Let's get the terrain artifact researched, and then... Oh, except we need to keep gathering food and coal all the time because we're just barely holding okay on food and combustibles. But maybe we send these 3 out to do a little looking around. Yeah, I guess if we're going to do it at any time, now's the time. And we can worry about gathering the rest of the obsidian in a minute. So pass over enough food for, I don't know, 25 days? 25 days is more than we need, probably. And then also, we're going to need some stuff to burn. Let's take 10 days worth of fuel. 10 winter days worth of fuel. And the town will be okay. Alright, let's just have a look around. You could engage in a fight in those ruins. Okay, yeah. It did not actually reveal the spaces around the town. The town vision doesn't actually work. Good to know. So there's a source of quartz that we had not seen. There's a source of clay that is just outside of our boundary. Yep, this is 4 spaces. So we can't get the clay, that's fine. We don't need the clay, we have quartz. And if we... honestly, obviously, we're going to be building mostly with the big heavy stone, the fancy stone. We know that there's a Lightbringer party over here somewhere. We don't exactly know if there's a village around. But we should map this area a little bit if we can, just to try to get a sense of what other resources we can easily venture out to grab. Should probably attack this Lightbringer party. We should be able to defeat them in yellow or red combat, I would think. I think we're weirdly actually better at yellow combat, despite the fact that we have two classes that you would think of as physical classes. Right, because we have reliable argument on somebody, don't we? We have showing off. Of course, we have outmaneuver. Outmaneuver is great. And it has better scaling than Ghostly Axe does. Let's try the yellow challenge. Yellow health is more difficult to recover, though. Maybe we do want the red version. Are you... What is the scavenger wielding right now? An amber artifact that doesn't really help very much. Yeah, 12. We do have a powerful weapon attack. Yeah, let's do it physically. Physical health recovers a little bit faster, it seems like. Although it also seems like you die much more frequently from having low red health than you do from having low yellow health. Maybe we could just bounce. It's taken me a really long time to make this very simple decision, but I'm so nervous about screwing things up now after all of that work. I think we are better at yellow. Let's do the yellow version. Okay, resolve manually. If I remember correctly, the deal with these is that, they have one, like, super powerful guy. He has Speed of the Swarm, and he's going to hit for 20. But, like, we can get underneath him, is my hope. Who has the boar? Did we lose the boar? But you know what? The boar was probably equipped on the crafter, and it's probably just sitting in my town inventory unequipped right now. Well, that sucks, because I was going to use that boar to absorb the first hit. I mean, we can have Bogdan take a 20. That's not that big of a deal. The thing is, they're going to play this guy 3 times. And he's going to get really fast. And we have to get 80 damage in. How am I going to get 80 damage in? Can we afford to play the rat twice? Because we want to, if we can. The problem, of course, is that his damage is probably never going to get to 18, but it is going to be... It'll be higher than 12. Yeah, and we got to play him again. So I guess we got to wait. Yep, another copy of that dude. And of course, still faster than my attacks. Okay, that's interesting. That doesn't actually let them play him a 3rd time, so that's good. So we play you here, and Bogdan here, then we end up with... That guy does 13? We play Bogdan here. Bogdan gets... Anybody that we play gets killed, because they take 40 damage. Yeah, we just can't do this fight, actually. Okay, we take a huge amount of sanity damage on everybody. Everybody's low enough that they could die, that they could go insane. Hate. Okay, Uberak's pretty low. Not a lot we can do about it, sadly. And of course, it's impossible for us to get any sanity regen going, because having taken yellow damage prevents you from having yellow health regen from morale. So we don't have to worry about morale or anything. I mean, it kind of seems like everybody's going to be okay here. If we lose our goblin, that's pretty bad. But he really did recover. Okay. Being in town is nice. I'll say that. Well, I want to explore. We didn't take the boat. But maybe we just need to chill back in town for a second here and put ourselves back together. Should have gone at that with a red challenge. Well, we will next time. So what can we do that's useful? Well, we can do some research. 12 turns. Well, whatever. We don't have to get it done now. Now that our meters aren't going to be constantly interrupted by movement, we can just put some progress on while we wait and heal. After some heavy rain, you discover a nest of vipers has slithered its way into your cellar. Well, let us scout their nest properly. You track the snakes to their source and see they are swarming over a creature they captured, feeding on it and gaining an unnatural vigor and malice. We should be able to pass a difficulty 2 red challenge, I would think. I'm a little leery of the yellow challenge on account of our yellow health is still not in a super great place, although I guess like Ajax and Ivana are the ones who are most likely to actually get hit in the yellow challenge. The ones that are most important. Uberak is not really in that much danger. And this is a concept challenge, so like the damage isn't real. Yeah, I'll take that. You exterminate them, you find the demon. Apparently we were able to keep it alive. Okay, that's a good outcome. Yeah, gathering obsidian during the winter seems like a crummy deal, but I guess the research we're doing is also pretty bad. Yeah, and we'll still gather obsidian every second turn, with some amount of overflow. And we just kind of need to, I think we just kind of have to take it easy for a second until everybody's sanity is back in a good place. It's going to take a long time for Uberak. And I know this Pure Stone School seems like over-preparing a little bit. I just really want to make progress on this thing as quickly as possible. Getting 4 characters to level 20 is very non-trivial. That's a lot of XP. Alright, almost everybody's ready to go again. And I mean, if I intend to take them on with a red challenge anyway, I don't know. Does energy scattering use... Okay, it uses destiny when it's purple. We do have a good purple skill that scales off of mysticism. It scales worse, and my mysticism is lower. I guess I don't really need to think about that. Let's take the destiny. We're not awesome at purple challenges. In fact, we're pretty bad at purple challenges, so... powering up Bogdan's purpleness seems like a good idea. Alright, let's try this again. Let's just try not to engage in any yellow challenges if we don't have to. People are not 100% recovered on that. Way more stuff than we need, just because we have it. Okay. Let's try that again. Maybe I should have them take the boat. Yeah, maybe we should just go sailing. We carry the boat? The boat is remarkably not that heavy. Unfortunately, we cannot get in the water this turn. But yeah, we'll sail around the coast a little bit. I guess the big danger there is that some of the sea events are pretty tough. Ooh, and also that we may need these people nearby to defend against that group of Lightbringers. Difficulty 5. I'm not happy about having to deal with that. Sure. An old woman comes to your gates asking for shelter. Of course we invite her in. We allow the woman to stay the night, and when you wake she's gone, but she's left us a pretty good cat and some herbs. Cool. That cat will make it easier to raise a kid as a witch later. You are rudely awakened by a rabble of folks slowly descending upon your campsite. At first they seem like bandits, but they look like they're having a tough time. And as a scavenger, I know what this look means. They are your kin, but far gone with the dark sickness, a remnant of the age of darkness past. If you could capture them, perhaps they could yet be cured, as you have been by following the gods. But beware, their madness is more than mental, for they spread toxin and disease, too. Well, I think we're definitely way better at yellow concept challenges than red concept challenges, because a lot of our good yellow abilities are innate anyway. Do people mostly have red abilities? I guess you can headbutt in red challenges. Ivana has ghostly axe. You don't have any contribution really to a red physical challenge. And I forgot. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to go equip that boar in a second here. You capture the scavengers safely, and indeed you find they are feverish and sick. If only we had a healer. Do your best to help them out. Use your connection to the gods to try to light their dark path. Some of the disease spreads to you, but nothing life-threatening. You do your best to help, but most of the victims are too far gone and die. The few who survive show signs of recovery, or at least improvement. They regain some semblance of their mind and are thankful for your aid. Perhaps some will choose to stay with you. Even if they do not, they leave what they can in thanks, including a child. Pretty happy to have another child, honestly. And a little bit of rep is also nice, and sure, I'll pay for a curse removal. Do you still accept payment in fish? I know that this was in vogue a while ago. Okay. Good to see. Fish still works as credit. So you should probably gain a level of Goblin, because man, brute force is really not terribly useful. And all of a sudden, we have more need for the children's playground. So we're probably not... I see that the children's playground does not have any ability to be built out of stone. We're probably not going to be able to make a super good version of this. In fact, it looks like we're not going to be able to make it at all right now. It's like we could go gold, and if we could find some more bone, maybe we could... See, we're not too far off on fur leather. That is only 0.8 stats, though. If we were to make it out of, like, some decent materials, it honestly wouldn't get much better. Okay, we could gather bone. We could do bone and gold and get 0.7 instead of 1.1. It's a smaller number, certainly. This doesn't have to be our final playground, but, like, every little bit helps with getting kids past the thresholds, right? Unfortunately, the child we were given is male, not female, so we cannot make a witch. We could make ourselves another crafter. We could try to do a Zerka or a healer. A healer might be a good idea. Zerkas and healers are both pretty powerful. I don't think there really is a male purple class for humans, which is a shame. Yeah, I'm inclined to just take this, just because we can do this almost immediately. We could, this turn, gather enough bones to make that work. And the kid can go fishing. Okay, and we are going to remember to equip the boar. The boar goes on you, I guess. And I don't think it helps much to equip the kid with anything. Alright, let's see about these Lightbringers. Okay, never mind. It is legitimately a difficulty 5 challenge, which means that if they come to town and attack us, we're dead. So that's crummy. Yeah, how would we win a difficulty 5 challenge right now? I just don't think we can. Fortunately, they don't seem to have a lot of interest in us. Hopefully that will persist, because we really couldn't do anything if they decided to come at us. Alright, I'm going to stay on land for a second here. When we're far enough away from Unislavograd that we won't be able to participate in the challenges anyway, then there'll be no reason to stay on land and we'll just get in the water. But for right now, I want to remain available and I want to avoid triggering any very difficult events. So yeah, let's make a totally weak-ass playground temporarily. Temporary weak-ass playground. I have no problem using gold for this. And let's just try to get through that quickly, huh? Okay. This is bad. And the auto-resolve is going to be us getting absolutely murdered. Actually attempting this is going to be even worse. Remarkably, not actually any more difficult than the one we couldn't do before, but the one we couldn't do before was still something we couldn't do. But we definitely can't... Oh, alright, let's place some people on the table and just like see if we can figure out a path here. They play a second copy of that guy. We can have one of them tanked for 1 hit by Bogdan, have one of them tanked for 1 hit by the boar. Neither of which I'm, like, excited about, obviously. I'm going to put Bogdan down right now, because at the moment he's faster than this thing, and he won't be if we play him later. obviously, due to the way things work. It's just that they have multiple copies of that guy, and then also a bunch of other people that attack at very high numbers. Yeah, there's no version of this that we can win. So we probably lose then, huh? Like, not necessarily off of that battle, but off of the fact that we have no way of getting rid of this enemy party. I mean, some of the people in our adventuring party took huge amounts of yellow damage. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, do we have any chance at all? If we could beat them in red combat, like, that would be something. Okay, wow, he's 9 points of first strike. I'm glad we weren't on the table already. He's also already unreasonably fast and will only get faster. And they have 7 cards. We know 2 of their cards are this. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be survivable. Well, what if we were going to have any chance at all here? What would that chance be? That's too slow. Like, Ajax has to get in here, right? We can use the werewolf. The werewolf's terrible, though. It's only going to absorb, like, 1 hit. And it's not going to do any damage at all. Well, we definitely can't afford to play a second copy of Ajax. So she's a lot slower than this thing is. He's only going to hit for 12, but he gets to pick his target, so... in a sense, it doesn't really matter how we play this. Let's get you down. Your slowdown attack down nice and early. Jesus. Okay. If they overcommit on one guy, that gives us a chance at least of burning him out before he does a huge amount of damage. This sucks though, because this attack is not stoppable, and if we don't kill him before this attack goes off, we lose. Because he's gonna life leech. First of all, he's gonna kill Ajax, and secondly, he's gonna life leech and regain a lot of health. So we do have a pretty solid Hunter's Mark available. But we can't slow him down. We'd have to slow him down and speed her up. We're not that far off of 47 damage. And right now, with the stuff we have on the table right now, we're looking at 44. So, like, who is faster than 9.7? Who's going to contribute a meaningful amount of damage? It is worth noting, I guess this is going to slow down Purple Man. So that is going to help. Maybe we're okay. I'm going to put Bogdan down here. Okay, they're not overcommitting as much as I was hoping. We're going to go ahead and summon the boar in this space. I guess we don't have to do it right this second. That can wait. So if this slows this guy down by 2 seconds and pushes this to 10.7, that's still insufficient. But we could speed up. We'd speed up the hunter. We can also use a Hunter's Mark, but obviously this takes 2 points. And what I'd actually like to do here, I think, is play her now at 13, sadly. And then use my final No, this doesn't actually work, does it? Because now I'm not playing the boar. No, we're just screwed. Bogdan's not hitting the right target anymore. Yeah, we're just doomed. Because even if we get rid of this guy, we still have to deal with this dude. And his extremely powerful axe. He's gonna kill our house demon. As things stand right now, Ajax gets a hit off but dies, and the attack that kills him completely reverses the damage he deals. If we spend this 1 point instead on rushing you down to 10 seconds, it doesn't matter. I got all distracted from my plan. Like, we did have to play Hunter's Mark, I think, instead of the second copy of the Hunter. But if we don't play the second copy of the Hunter, we're screwed anyway, right? Because we don't have enough damage to deal with him anymore. I mean, he's not going to gain 18 health. He's going to gain more like 8. But then we're going to take 26, 34... Yeah, like, we're going to take all of these guys' damage twice. And we don't have enough damage to get through them, even with the Hunter dealing quite a lot. She can't actually, even with both of these hits, she can't actually kill anybody. Yeah, so we lose the challenge. We have everybody fall back into town. They sanity attack us again on their turn, and we all die. Ah, what a frustrating way to lose. After all that work getting set up. I'm wondering, though, if there's any way that we could possibly have survived, like, at this point in the game. Could we have been in a position to survive a difficulty 5 combat challenge? We would have had to put more emphasis on building weapons and gear earlier, but that's not really a thing that we even have the option of doing. Because everything that we did up to this point was very focused on just getting the town established. Well, let's get you guys back to work, I guess. There's nothing else to do. Obsidian. Yep, and they attack again, and we can't do anything about it, and we die. Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of this attempt. That's a real shame, man. That's a real bummer of a way to have it go out. We're gonna try again. We're gonna try again, maybe a little bit different. Let's have a look at. Here we're gonna have to click through this menu a bunch of times. Yeah, let's go ahead and just wrap it up here. Ooh. We should make them actually kill us, right? Because we're a single point off. We're a single score point off of a god point. So let's everybody get on research. This isn't gonna help. We're not gonna get this done in time. But you do get some amount of score just for survival. Yeah, so let's hope that we trip a threshold here before everybody dies. It'd be really cool to walk out of here with 4 god points instead of 3. Yep, auto resolve, accept outcome. Part, okay. As long as the rat's alive, we're still accumulating points. I didn't do it. That's a real shame. But we survived one more turn. Maybe this will be the one. Yep, okay. Poisoned, snakes, whatever. Ajax is surviving, man. He is remarkably difficult to stop. And this doesn't matter at all. I don't know why I'm even thinking about it. There we go. Okay, I'm comfortable with end game now. 402 points. It's not bad. Okay, so we're going to have to figure out a version of this that is a little bit more resilient. We're going to have to build some gear in the early game, I guess. Some, like, pretty bad gear. See, that's my big concern here is if we build bad gear, is it going to help us? Like we need to have gear such that we could survive a fight like that. We could have made some armor, some elemental armor, and had some yellow shielding, a little bit more yellow shielding, but we would have had to have a lot more yellow shielding in order to have a chance there. Or we would have had to have characters who have shield leech weapons. Or we would have had to just have like a massive amount more health, but that's not really a thing we have a lot of control over, the amount of health we have. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we have to get a little bit luckier with the map gen in order for this to work out. Like, I'm looking at our options here. We have 11 god points to play with. If we got rid of Flock of Gatherers, we could run with a hunter from the very beginning if we restructured some things a little bit, like took out the rat and the scoundrel, and just went hunter, skirmisher, children. And that means that we don't necessarily have anybody who's good at gathering, but hunters get good at gathering because perception gives gathering. And then we could try to gather more building materials early, build some... Man, to survive a difficulty 5 challenge like that, though, you really do need to have some significant stuff. So how would we get that? The ways we've been able to... we would have to specialize in a resource earlier and make really good gear earlier and then found a town sometime after that, I guess? We could do that, because we could have one of the children grow up into a craftsman. Yeah, it's certainly something we could try. So if we went like... Let's say we do that. Let's say we drop the scoundrel and the rat. We go hunter, skirmisher, children. Then we have a couple of card slots open. Where we get like... Probably we would need advanced gathering tools. And then we could buy something else. Start with a robe, start with jewelry, crafting tools. Start with 20 XP divided evenly amongst your people. It's actually kind of interesting when we're down to 4 people. Like the kids starting with an extra level effectively would definitely be powerful. A shield, loyalty from orcs or goblins is kind of whatever. We can't use a typed card. This doesn't help us. You start with a raft is not very good. All your characters have +2 shielding. It doesn't say what type. I'm going to assume it means all types. Start with 30 to 50 basic materials. Definitely not useful. We could drop the Goblin Skirmisher. I'm a little reluctant to not start with a Goblin character, because having a Goblin character, of course, means that we can get Goblin characters. We can get Goblin children, and that seems pretty important to me. So if we ran something like this... True Hero seems bad, right? 2 shielding does nothing. It's wild that this card costs 5 god points. Maybe it has some kind of scaling factor that is not listed here. It's +2 shielding per level or something. Because 2 shielding isn't even valuable in the initial encounters. We would probably start with like seasoned followers. An extra level or 2 on the kids right away means they grow into more powerful adults, and that, like, I think that has some pretty obvious value. Okay, well, where are we at here? We're at like 43 minutes. Yeah, we could just try this. Let's see what this looks like. So then we don't get to start with a rat as our chosen, which is a sad thing. Hunters are just kind of good at everything. Maybe the hunter is the chosen because hunters are good at everything. What's cool hunter art look like? I remember this dude. And that's pretty cool. I like the fact that Arts 1 and 2 are just like, here's some very very stereotypical fantasy art, and here's what she might look like if she wanted to actually like survive in the world. Okay, let's give this another shot. So we have to have a solution for that. We were able to deal with difficulty 4 packs of animals on the continent because we're able to cheat with having a hunter, and we'll be able to cheat even more with having a hunter this time. Also, since we're using a hunter as our chosen, the werewolf from the Horror's ability will actually scale this time. So that's like, it's kind of weird because if a character has good perception, you almost certainly want to be actually playing them into combat rather than playing a werewolf. But I guess we'll see if it turns out to be valuable at all. I should probably have a look at our equipment. So what did we start with? We started with, that's a shame, a percentage-based gathering increaser. But, I mean, Gromislav has an acceptable amount of gathering. Started with 1.0. Yeah, I'll keep the bone javelins on her. This dude, for some reason, didn't get to start with a weapon. Why do they start the skirmishers with just a shield? I think I would rather have you on... How good is your armor? 7.2. I might... Okay, let's swap the armor. What does this do? Gives 4.6 weapon block. Okay, so we'll be using him to block a lot. That kind of makes me think I want to go sword with him instead of the polearm. Obviously, being able to deal 4 first strike damage is significant, but the sword's pretty fast, actually, and it gives him a little bit more shielding to play with. In any situation where we can't immediately kill the enemy, the sword is obviously better. Okay, let's make a go of it here. So we've started in a heavily forested, mountainous corner of the continent, where there are no resources that are of any value to us at all. Pretty bad start, actually. Yeah, I know. I know, get you some food. Alright, everybody gets to start with an immediate level up, which is cool. This is the kid who would grow up to be a hunter. This is the kid who would grow up to be a warrior. Sad to see neither one of them get the option of taking mysticism. We could have had a witch really early. That would have been pretty helpful. The kid who would grow up to be a warrior actually has a considerable amount of wisdom already. I might take wisdom and try to mold Amalia into a Zerka. And then Bolamira takes wits. And we just hope for some better level ups in the near future? That's pretty bad. Okay. Cool, you run up toward a hill that will protect you, but you have to drop things to escape from the flood. Lose a bunch of food. Great. We got some wood to burn. I guess that's like... It's harder to come by wood than it is to come by food. This sucks. This pack of animals ran into the worst space for us. Because that was where we needed to go to access the ruins. So how are we going to get... Let's see, we've got a gathering tool that we probably have absolutely no use for. Percentage-based gathering tools are terrible in the early game, before you have a city. I guess you get it because you have the second highest gathering, but that's really not saying much. Then here we can at least try to get some fish, but of course we don't have enough gathering to get fish in one turn. Find an old house overgrown with greenery, and you are diseased. Great. You enter a nicely kept family house. There's a stove, table, bedding up on a ledge, pottery, and hay on the floor, all kept tidy and livable, yet with no people in sight. Okay, this guy, he's all about his master or whatever. Try talking to it. He's like, your masters will be back, they'll be back. I don't think we did make a mess. It certainly didn't say anywhere that we made a mess, but okay, clean what you messed up. You clean up after yourselves and leave quietly. After leaving, you find a small package in your backpack, and we get some permanent stat boosts. And Destiny, which is a useless stat on a child. Not useless, but obviously it doesn't help you grow into anything. Okay, well, I mean, that was a good outcome. So what we're looking for right now is, first of all, obviously advancement points. Secondly, we need to find a source of wood and a source of food. This is actually pretty nice right here. So let's get you guys gathering meat, and the kids can start working on gathering wood. We'll just do this for a few turns. Get ourselves a little bit more situated for traveling around, and then we'll check these two things out. Oh, good, bees. And there is a dragon bee. I'm going to take the auto-resolve, the good auto-resolve, because fighting that encounter would actually probably have a worse outcome for us, because the dragon bee is wildly unbalanced. Very, very much better than it should be. I'm gonna go for one more wood gather here. Sit for a couple more turns. Alright, let's adventure a little bit. It's nighttime. The eyes of horrors are upon us now. Let's investigate the southern part of the ruins. We found some spices and some leather. Okay, that was easy enough. Let's go look at some more ruins. And I'll go ahead and make camp. With our perception raised, we can gather the meat even faster, although not faster enough that it's actually going to make a difference. Okay. Well, we're definitely taking gathering and luck. And then you can take protect others, that's fine. 2 flying daggers is an okay skill. It is totally acceptable. Okay, once again, spices and leather. Weird. So, how are we going to put together the advancement points? I guess we're just going to keep doing the quests, right? Doing the thing we've been doing. Alright, since we're so much better at gathering at night, can we get these both down to 1? Oh, you're kidding me. Well, that's a shame. Alright, we'll sit one more time. I kind of wonder if starting in the winter might not actually be easier with this strategy. Because you get all that extra XP. I mean, we can probably, beat these guys with a yellow challenge to avoid having to fight the dragon bee, which seems pretty important. And then we probably want to pull this up. We're going to need it, but we should pull it up from this space, I guess, so that we can also be fishing while we do it. Okay, skip his nonsense. Choose the... It doesn't matter. Whatever. Wow, that's a lot of fish. Alright, best gatherers on this, other gatherers on fish. Okay, I know, go check out your abandoned house. It spawned it over here. Easy enough. And then the Dola is right nearby. You discover some underground tunnels. Let's just go in and investigate. Oh, there's a nest of vipers sprawling inside. Do I feel up to a difficulty 2 red challenge? Not really. We should be able to climb out of there, though. Shouldn't be a problem. Physical blessings for the kids. Unfortunately, not likely to last long enough for it to affect their stats during growing up. Yeah, 2 turns. Growing up is 17 and 20. Those feel late. It will be over turn 40 again before either of the kids grow up. No, wait, 17. One of them will grow up on 39. Alright, Theodore's abandoned house. Try to leave. She's like, nah, and then we killed her with a bow and arrow. Okay. We got ourselves some scaled robes, which are totally fine. I guess I probably should have done that manually, because again, like, you know how it is. Managed to take a bunch of damage we would not have otherwise taken because I didn't want to do the very easy, sort of tedious combat. Well, whatever, we healed fast enough. Actually, can either of the kids... That's a robe, right? Can either kids wear the robe? Yeah, actually, totally. Okay, that's helpful. The shield is not light enough for Amalia to equip. This time we don't have a Kmuch here to guide us through this, but we do have enough perception to Know that they're attuned to suffering. I guess hurt yourself and try to make it look and feel real? You feel you're being watched. Tell him the thing. He's watching you from afar, still unwilling to come closer, even though we're talking to him, which is very rude. So... these demons are hurting you and others for fun. Surely he'd like to help. I think the way this is worded, it sounds like we're saying, hey, wouldn't you like to help hurt people? Which he would, it seems like, but I... Leopold said he will help once you face him. Yeah, we can just catch him. Whatever, man. Okay, thank him and leave. We got a permanent boost to health, which is interesting. Not something that always happens. And then I guess we just keep looking around, right? I see some difficulty 3 Lightbringers over there, but we haven't seen them move. I don't know. I still don't want to go toward them. This time we will actually focus on gathering meat, but we're doing alright on supplies and stuff. Why, I'll consider it, but for a better reward. And I will, of course, do this manually. So here's a crummy thing. Don't get to use our werewolf. The good news is, outmaneuver is powerful. And also very fast. How are we supposed to lose this challenge? Don't we just win if I hit the skip to resolution button right now? Okay, they do have a speed up ability. Still, they'd have to speed up a lot. She is really fast without maneuver. Okay. This island, I have to say, like it's had enough supplies for us to be comfortable running around and stuff, but okay, we're not getting the Goblin Child yet again. I believe it is possible. I think you can get a Goblin Child. I'm debating attempting the thing here. The child is present. Maybe we could get it. Let's try it. I think that's an outperformance of what we would have done manually. Take the child if you can and leave. You can't. But we did get a bunch of wood from that, at least. You kill it and have a chance to rescue the Goblin Child if you can get to it before they take it away, and we don't. Oh well. Doing that got us some extra research material. That's cool. Alright, investigate the south. I'm not afraid to fall into a cellar or end up in a fight with a zombie or something. And I do love more loot. So yeah, a bunch of dudes that I don't really want to get involved with here. Let's see, we can cook up some of this meat. Apparently we're not great cooks, though. It's gonna take a little bit of effort to get some of this stuff done. Why is our cooking higher than our crafting skill? I don't know. Alright, we could cook one more thing here. Let's go fish plus herbs. 2 of them working together can get 1 turn of cooking done there. Alright, an important task. I totally accept it. Alright, come on, good stat points. Nope. I mean, she got 1. I guess you're just going to take wits, because mysticism is not very important to you, and neither is intelligence. Amalia, I was really hoping for... We could take another point of wisdom, I guess? Yeah, I'll take that. And then on Bolamira, I was again kind of hoping we'd hit mysticism. I don't know that I think they're going to level up twice more before the next... before they grow up. So I think if we... I don't think there's any chance of making Bolamira a witch at this point, is basically what I'm saying. So maybe we take the point of perception, just to make sure she has the option to become a hunter. We end up with 2 hunters. Hunters are very powerful, they're versatile. Yeah, 2 hunters, a skirmisher, and a Zerka. That's like a reasonable starting party, right? Okay, we found a Lightbringer village, which is crummy. We don't have the option to remember that storms are bad and that we should, that storms are dangerous and that we should respect their strength, which is weird. Right, at least these Lightbringers here are apparently AFK. They're off doing something else. Alright, barge in, do the thing. Right, we know how to do this big new thing. Do I want to try to knock out this bee's nest? We might be able to do it. I think there's a special hunter option on these. And I think it would probably be a good idea to stop it from spawning packs of hostile bees because they're so dangerous. Nope, we will have to do an actual red challenge. It'll be a difficulty 2. We should... Sorry, we should leave. We should equip this spitting spider on somebody. We should make sure you have the best club we can give you. And actually, that club's a lot lighter than the other one, so you can use this as well. Wand is not going to help us in the challenge to come. So I guess we just go for it? I mean, we're pretty tough. One thing that we do not have is the damage potential of a Strength of the Swarm character. We could reasonably get like 2 cards on the field that are doing 14 or 18, somewhere between 14 and 18 damage each. But actually, Gromboslav has pretty good perception at this point. We might be able to pull that off, and I think there's a significant danger in not doing it. There's 1 Dragon Bee. I'm inclined to just take this because manual resolution against the Dragon Bees is really tough. We might be able to outperform this one because the hunter is fast, but I think I'm just going to accept that outcome. That's fine. Burning the hive is the most important thing. Well, I don't feel like there's any real chance that we're gonna, like, starve. Do we need to do more rest before we... Probably let's walk around the ruin and engage it from the other side. Get a little bit more exploration going here. Ooh, you find the ruins long abandoned and looted many times over. Just as you're about to give up, you discover a hidden entrance to an underground chamber. Hard to imagine we'll be able to pull this off, but I also don't think that there's... Oh, really? Okay, I mean, I'll take it. I was gonna say, I don't imagine there's much penalty for failure. I believe there's no penalty at all for failure on that event. Alright, you see a dark corridor leading deeper down. The air is stale, and the darkness seems to stare back at you. It does look scary. Let's go in. You descend down the winding corridor until you reach a chamber with 6 stone columns. Between them are alcoves with granite vests and vases. It does still look kind of scary. Let's search the chamber. You spot the silhouettes of humanoid creatures hanging from the ceiling by the columns. They've spotted you as well. We did just pass a Red 3 concept challenge, so we might be able to pass a Red 3 actual challenge. We have the option of just bailing on this. Let's try it. I'll take it. It's fine. Striga are dead. The chambers are yours to pilfer. The loot is bad. Our hunter took a ton of damage there. Is she negative? She's not. You know what? We'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. Let's go ahead and equip that. Like, that armor's an upgrade. So that's something. Get a little tiny bit of extra shielding on people. And then, I don't think we have any other changes to make here. Let's just move out into the dark. Here, we'll stop here. We'll make camp, heal up, get some fish. It'll be fine. Yeah, that was less than a turn of healing away from the threshold. So, we're about to cross the bottleneck. Things might get a little bit harsher on the other side. Hard to know. There's also another source of food, though. Would we grab this in one turn? We wouldn't. Whatever. Alright, we're pretty close to the kids growing up. I am hopeful that all of our extra starting XP will have given us a leg up on that. So you can fish by yourself. You two together can just barely get this done. Okay, here's Zbigniew. We want to not harm him. Nature and intellect. Okay. We're doing it. So we're pretty close to a level up here. The kids are, I believe, headed toward a level that gives skills, not stats. So it's not super important that they cross the threshold. It's not going to help them grow up. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to stress about it too much. I was wondering, like, if we could leave them gathering, maybe they would get XP more efficiently. Oh, a Stingers party. That's interesting. Well, let's hope they don't choose to attack us. Stay cautious, but speak to them. They do not answer. They keep coming toward you. What is only a difficulty 1 challenge, so we burn through that pretty quickly. I want to make friends with the Stingers, not enemies. Alright, let's go get some XP. Let's use our muscle to break through, which apparently we're good at. Let's see if it is exactly the same outcome. Are we pretty good on health? Okay, we went into this not at full health last time, I believe. Wow, minus 30. Jesus. He'll be okay though. He is less than a turn off of being above the threshold. We got I think that's a better greatsword than the one he currently has. And another piece of decent armor. And also we are overburdened. Let's see. Is that in fact a better sword? Nope, it is worse. Well, in that case, I feel pretty comfortable just breaking it down. That'll help with our weight problems a little bit. We do a quick sort by weight. We have a lot of crafting materials we probably don't need as well. This new armor's pretty good. We don't need this. These wands are remarkably heavy. I don't know why they're so heavy. We probably don't need both of them. They are identical, so... Ooh, actually, we probably don't need either of them, because this wand is just better. And then we're still overburdened, so I'm to be straight with you, we're not going to build anything out of sandstone. And I guess while we're down here, we can try to cook a little bit. Do some of this. And you know what? People told me a previous game about starring recipes. Let's see. We star the recipe. Okay, it just remembers it over here. That's kind of useful. We're gonna have different stuff to cook with all the time is my big concern here. So you can cook this and you can cook that. Nope, now the values are actually correct. Well, that being the case, just cook this then. Because we still have some grilled meat. Okay, everybody's back over the threshold. We're leveling up. Bolamira, I guess, could take Craftsman. There's no point in taking Brute Force. Ramoslav absolutely gets Ghostly Axe. Oil takes a thing that isn't useless. Points of Goblin are definitely some of the weakest racial points. Let's see about this. Okay, it is a little bit of a shame that we want to keep camping here because we're in kind of dire shape health-wise. Yep, I accept my divine role as chosen. I am planning on making you a Zerka, so seems like picking up reliable argument now is probably a good idea. And then we should see a grow-up event here in a second. A bunch of fireflies over there. Where do I think... Which direction do I think is going to be more dangerous? Alright, I think we chose reasonably well on this. We do need to go back to that village and check in with them now that we've dealt with Zbigniew, but it's not an urgent concern. We go back there and trade with them and stuff. Alright, some crows want to fight. As you cross the plains, you spot a busy beehive full of honey and nectar. It would be very nutritious, perhaps even cure some wounds, and we know how to smoke the stingers out without killing them. I bet I don't know for sure, but probably there's a chance at least that if we had done it the killing method, we would have lowered our stinger's reputation even further. Okay, let's see if we can make Amalia into a Zerka. It would be useful to have one around. Alright, she is successful. That was sure easy. So we don't really have a lot of we don't really have equipment that's more relevant to her role, unfortunately. I guess she has 8 points of wisdom, or 8 points of destiny, so the bone wand is okay. And then she doesn't really need shielding that badly. We should make sure we're shielding our actual fighters first. She can carry this though. And I guess we ought to, we probably ought to keep this on her, because the Spitting Spider is useful in red challenges, whereas she is really not. So these crows here did not attack us. We probably want to go for the ruins. So let's handle the crows quickly, and then... we can't quite make the ruins this turn. You're ambushed by goblin bandits. We'll have our own goblin try to parley with them. Me think it's never good to crap on your own. What can you offer? We can probably talk our way out of this, right? We have a Zerka with reliable argument. It's actually, really powerful. And then, we have outmaneuver as well. We might be a little bit better at red challenges right now, actually. But I think the outcome from the yellow challenge is something that we want a little bit more. Wow, 26 damage on Amalia, really? Should have done that one manually. When they depart, they leave some of their stolen loot for you, and also give, well, stats that he doesn't actually want. Let's ask them to trade. Do they have anything interesting? They have some gathering tools. We might want to trade for some gathering tools. They have a boar. Wouldn't be a terrible thing to have. We can trade off some of our expensive stuff here. So let's take all of the food. All of the stuff with which we can cook. Do we want... I kind of want to go to a one-handed weapon on our fighter, on our skirmisher, but his sword's pretty good. This hatchet does more damage than the sword does. Doesn't have the sweep, but I actually kind of like that. And then I would love the boar. We make 556 happen. I would also like this gathering tool, actually. It's flat boosts to gathering are a little bit more valuable for us in the early game. And I'm a little leery of trying to make this much value occur. I guess we don't really need our scaled robes. That gets us a lot of the way there. And then we can trade off, all the clay. We can keep the robes, I guess, and just give them all of our clay and, a single bone. Stone has trade value. Okay, and they also gave us a bunch of medals. That was nice of them. That was a lot of yellow damage. Way more than I think I would have taken manually. Okay, so now we have some... Ooh. We have a better pet boar. Who's slowing us down right now? Okay, Bolamira takes the 1.8 boar, so now our party movement speed is a little bit better. You can, I guess, take this other boar. And a fur gathering tool can just go on somebody who's not great at gathering. We swap Oel's big sword for an axe and a shield, and now he has 24 points of shielding. And also, actually, is doing more damage. Is it slower? No, it is the same speed, in fact. I think I like this better. With the sword, he only has 2 fewer points of shielding. And it's only actually 1 point of damage difference, and then obviously if you get a splash on it, you know what, we will leave it like this. We'll find another use for that hatchet, probably. Let's go ahead and camp. Hopefully restore sanity a little bit faster. This is not ideal. Okay, we could definitely have manualed that if we had to. And hey, what do you know? Bolamir actually did level up again. Here's a question. Do I think 3 points of mysticism is enough for... No, I don't think it is. Because I think we had a kid at 3 mysticism before, and we didn't have the choice of growing her up as a witch. So we probably shouldn't take the mysticism here. She's about to level up. Or she's about to grow up. You have some yellow stat options, I guess. None of them are terribly meaningful. Wisdom at least affects gathering. Take a strength on you, no doubt. Do I want to... We should probably take some strength on Amalia at some point. It doesn't have to be right now. And we have the option of 2 points of wisdom. We should probably take 2 points of wisdom. And I think I'm just going to take the wits on Bolomira, or maybe the perception. I don't want her to miss out on her chance to hit the hunter thing. But 2 points of wits is actually pretty valuable in terms of speed of execution in combat. I'm going to take the wits. No, I'm going to take the perception. Maybe 4 points is the threshold. Who knows? But I feel fairly confident it's not 3. Okay, once again, spices and leather. I mean, I actually think this is going really well. We're already at 6 advancement points. Hunters are just super powerful. So, we want to keep adventuring. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode after the kid grows up. So we got another turn or 2 here. I don't want to, like, hurl myself at the bees. I would love to get to engage on them rather than having them engage on me. Okay, there's definitely a beehive. Oh, it's over there. Okay, well, we better go deal with that. Did she level up again? Oh, yeah, that's right. When the kid grows up, they reset their XP thresholds. Another level of Reliable Argument means you are doing 35 damage with Reliable Argument. That's very good. That's a very good amount of damage to do. 35 is one of the best numbers. I'm going to try to deal with this bee's nest. Maybe we're going to regret this. As you're about to set up camp, a group of goblin travelers approaches, asking for shelter. A weird number of goblins in this part of the island. Okay, hey guys, what's up? They sit by the fire, share stories with you, we smoke the weed, everything is great, they give us a dog. We thank them for the dog, the gift of a cool dog. And Bolomira gets to hang out with this dog for a minute. It's going to slow the party down slightly, but... So, here comes the danger time. We are potentially going to get attacked by multiple swarms of bees this turn. They are difficulty 1 bees, so it's a little bit less harrowing. Oh yeah, these ones don't even have a dragon bee with them. Oh, this time we did get the yellow option, so that's a no-brainer on that. And you know what? Doing it via the yellow option does not really seem to give you less loot. Alright, we're definitely going to clear the nest, which we should be able to do easily. There we go. And there's another stinger party. There's probably actually a stinger village around here somewhere. Let's just search the ruins. We can certainly kill some undead. Yeah, man, hunters are very good. I didn't change anything about the difficulty between games, did I? I don't think so. We want to break something down. I guess we have 2 shields. We don't need the other one, because we're just a tiny bit over our carry weight. Yeah, it would be cool to make friends with the stingers. I don't think we've actually ever done that. And we're pretty good at yellow stuff. Maybe we should try to find the stinger village and see if they want to be buddies. Okay, so our child, okay, that's interesting. Bolomira could become a healer instead. She doesn't really... So 3 intelligence is in fact the threshold for trying to become a healer. It's just that 3 mysticism wasn't high enough to make the kid be able to attempt to become a witch, I believe. Do we want a healer over a hunter? I mean, hunters are really good, but I don't know that we necessarily need a second one. You know what? Let's go for a healer. If she can become a healer, we should try that. Having a healer around gives you some good options. Alright. Gives you some good options in challenges and stuff. Okay, we have a good, like, developed party here. Amalia doesn't really benefit from having more intelligence, right? She doesn't have anything that scales with int. She hasn't... Okay, she does have Inspire, which is a buff that scales with intelligence. But I'm inclined to just take more wisdom for reliable argument. I think that's a better play. Stinger Village could be right up here, I suppose. Search the place carefully, follow the tracks. Okay, a group of light wisps shoots your way, and then we shoot them with our... I guess you don't shoot javelins at people, but we certainly kill them with our javelins. Right, I guess let's move in this direction. Again, I don't really... I don't... Okay, yeah, the Stinger Village is over there somewhere. We find the frog demon. Okay, consider a true demon lore, ask the kin, etc. Agree to help. Okay. We know that this has... This path has another thing linked to it, and I would like to get to that thing. I would like to get all of those points. So... Now that you're a healer, intelligence is what makes you a healer, but I think it's actually better to have wisdom once you are a healer, because, again, we're overwhelmingly likely to hit her with an artifact, which will scale with wisdom, and wisdom scales almost everything better than intelligence does. Intelligence does not actually seem to be a super useful stat. And her wisdom's already higher and everything, yeah. Okay, War Shout gives you some ability to participate in yellow and purple challenges, so we probably ought to take it. In particular, we're very light on purple skills right now, so War Shout is useful there. Is it just a... oh, it's a hammer blow, too. That's pretty cool. And then double toss over... That is a no-brainer. Alright, let's interact with the stingers before they get to interact with us so that we can attempt to be friendly. Try to talk your way out of this. We have the yellow stats. Okay, 1 point. Made it back to neutral. We cannot gather this in a place where we could also gather food. Do I even want to gather leather? Probably not. I think I'll just gather this right here. We'll do this, and then we'll stop, because I totally forgot that I was going to stop. What do we get if we combine beetle jelly with spices? Okay, spiced jelly. It's jelly with spices. I get that's... Yeah, that's on me. Not realizing that that was going to be the answer. And then what else could we do? What else? What other weird stuff do we have access to? We could do jelly and herbs as well, which is probably still going to be called spiced jelly, but it'll be different spiced jelly. Okay, so we made a lot of spiced jelly. Interestingly, it does show it all in one slot there, but it shows it in 2 different slots here. And presumably, yeah, it's represented as 2 different foods. We're actually doing really well on morale right now. It's a nice change of pace, because I feel like we're usually doing terribly on morale. What else do we want to do? We could spice up some more meat. I'm sure we're either out of grilled meat or close to out of grilled meat. No, not at all. What about this one? We have 5... Oh, wait, I was looking at the wrong number on that, I think. Yeah, I was. I was looking at the 12. Okay, I think it's worth making some more of both of these. Oh no, the stingers. Stay cautious, speak to them. No! Well, there goes my point of... we're just gonna have to talk to them at their village, I think. Okay, this event always happens. Step back, stay vigilant. The light stands... This stifling, unnatural concentration of force is an abomination against nature and intellect, but it's too big of an abomination for me to fight. Okay, you have Divine Word, which will give you access to Energy Disturb, which will make you pretty good in purple combat. I think we should probably take that. And then, yep, whatever's not brute force. Okay, good cooking. Let's see if we can cook something else. Fish. Make a little bit of fish cake and make a little bit of grilled fish. Let's put the good crafter on this. Give a little bit more in the way of ingredients there. No, don't come over here. Come across a cave. There are tunnels deep inside. The cave does have good minerals within, but there are also bat droppings. Well, fighting the bats could get us more food. And I don't really... The thing is, I don't really want the minerals. We're a little light on carry weight. Whatever. Let's try to be sneaky. Okay, never mind. We'll just run away. I don't really want the minerals, is the thing. So this is annoying. The amount of progress that we've made on this is completely irrelevant. If we get up now, we'll have to restart. But I really don't... Alright, you know what? I'll just let them engage with me. Like I said, we're going to have to talk to the Stingers anyway. We're going to have to talk to the village in order to get any real rep from them. It's fine. We'll just accept the fight. Okay. This time they have a dragon bee with them. Okay, we discovered even more scaled leather. Well, I feel like we are extremely killing it on advancement points here, because we have 7 advancement points already, plus 2 researches, plus 2 terrain artifacts with us. That's very silly. Alright, I think this is what we're going to call it for today. We've really gotten off to a good start this game. I mean, hunters are just bananas, like way too powerful. So we're going to ride that wave into tomorrow's episode, so come back for that, when we once again try to establish a city on the Orc Island, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can find a place that's a little bit further from all the Lightbringers. And we'll see you then.